Stone Ocean introduces us to the first female protagonist in JoJo's, Jolene Kujo. She's doing some very weird stuff at the beginning of this part, to say the least, but as we learn more about Jolene, we find out that she has been wrongfully imprisoned after she got into a car accident with her boyfriend, and the majority of this part takes place in this prison. After we get a little bit of time to, settle down with Jolene, see her stand stone free, and just take a look at the surroundings and how this prison works, we also learn that Jolene has a pretty bad relationship with her father, who is Jotaro Kujo, and this is a big part of Stone Ocean's plot because early on, Jotaro and Jolene have a fight with the main antagonist, Pucci. I find it kind of questionable that Pucci was able to defeat Jotaro, but seeing that it was a surprise attack and also seeing how crazy Pucci's ability is, it becomes, a bit more believable. Pucci, using a disc, is able to take out a person's stand ability and also a person's memories. After this is done to Jotaro, that's really the big driving force of Stone Ocean. It's Jolene trying to get the discs that Jotaro's memories and stand ability is on, and that's something that I found to be very surprising. Because Jolene is trying to save her father, we get to see a bit more of her background and just her overall relationship with Jotaro. Like I said, it's not very good. Jotaro was never really in Jolene's life, probably because he was in Morio or just trying to hunt down, stand users or, stuff to do with Dio. But for that reason, it's very obvious that Jolene holds some sort of disdain for Jotaro. And I gotta say that's understandable, fair enough. Just seeing how the relationship changes over time and seeing a more emotional side of Jotaro, it was pretty surprising to me and not something I expected. Jotaro is always keeping his cool. He comes off as a very composed and logical person, very calm. So seeing how he says that he cares for Jolene, it was a very touching moment. This kind of is what helps Jolene grow. And throughout this part, she shows a very fierce determination. That's something that I really liked about how Araki wrote Jolene. Every JoJo protagonist so far has been thrown into some very tough situations, and they've had to become strong because of that. And so Araki not treating Jolene any differently, it's what made her become such an enjoyable character. She's easily one of my favorite female characters in all of manga. I don't think this part had as strong of a cast as Golden Wind did, but there were still a few good characters in this part. One of my favorites was Foo Fighters. I mean, she's literally a mutant plankton, so already she's a pretty wild character. There's just something about an enemy becoming a friend to the protagonist that I just really like in stories. I also think we get a very beautiful message with Foo Fighters. When she's fighting Pucci, she arrives at the conclusion that the point of life is to make memories with other people. And that's really what made her to be such an impactful character for me. It's one of the reasons why I really like her. Moving on, I do want to talk about Hermes and Anasui. I didn't feel as strongly towards them as I did with Foo Fighters, but I do like them. Hermes, she has her very sad backstory with her sister, but despite that, she becomes a very reliable friend to Jolene. That's something that I really appreciated with her. And with Anasui, I'm gonna be honest, I just found him to be kind of a funny character. Whenever he tries to tell Jolene his failings, nothing really ever goes his way. I will say he does have a pretty messed up backstory, but yeah, they were alright. One of the biggest things that I want to talk about with Stone Ocean is Pucci. Making the main antagonist a priest is a very unique thing to do, but I'd say the biggest thing that made him stand out to me is how much faith he puts in the stuff that he believes. Pucci fully believes that everything he does is for the greater good of humanity. This is something that gets brought up time and time again throughout Stone Ocean. Just seeing how firmly he believes that what he's trying to achieve is righteous, it's what turned him into such a strong antagonist. Also, him just having a connection to Dio, him being Dio's friend, it's a very interesting point because you just have to think about what type of guy would be close friends with Dio. Now, with all the praise that I'm giving Stone Ocean, you would probably think I really like it, but if I'm being honest, I didn't enjoy this as much as I did with some of the other parts, which even to me, it's pretty weird because, like I said, I liked Jolene, I thought she was cool, I thought Pucci was an interesting antagonist. It has some very creative and cool fights, plus it builds upon the world of the other parts. It had some very emotional and impactful moments, especially with the ending. But although it has a lot of the elements in JoJo's that I really like, it just doesn't hit home with me. But I will admit it does have some really great aspects, and for that I can appreciate it. I'm gonna go read Steel Ball Run, so thanks for watching, see you in the next one, and peace.